Hello, this is Bruce again from One Heart. This is the second part of my videos about John 1:1 in the beginning. What I said in the first one was that the Word was not saying that that was Christ right there per se. John was not actually saying this is the Christ, even though we know it is, okay? But what he was actually saying in that verse is that it was the verbal thoughts and intents of God. It was God speaking is what he was saying. That's all he was saying right there. Is that in the beginning was the Word, was God's will, and his will was him, and his will, his word, is him, and it's with him. That's all he's saying. The same was in the beginning with God. See, all things were made by him. Well, this is him. Initially, it doesn't say him in there. In the Greek, it's all things were made by it. The Bishop's Bible says it exactly like that. All things were made by it. Without it was not anything made that was made. That's more accurate to what the Logos is here that we looked at. Logos is simply a verbal expression. It's speaking, speech, the act of speaking, speech, the faculty of speech, skill, practice, and spirit. See, that's what it says right there. It's clear. So is Jesus, is the Word Jesus? Is Jesus the Word? Yes, he is, because Jesus is God. And we look there in further down in verse 14, we see, and the Word was made flesh. There you go. There's Jesus. But the Word is God. See this up here? The Word was God. The Word was God. And guess what? The Word, which is God, was made flesh. God was made flesh. And we see that again if we go to 1 Timothy 3:16. What do we see? We see, without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifest in the flesh. See there? God, the Word, Jesus, they're all one. That is Jesus being made, that's God being made flesh. He revealed his real name, which is Jesus. And that is precisely what the Bible teaches us, that God himself became flesh. Okay? And you look in Colossians 1:15, Jesus is the image of the invisible God. He is the image. We can see God through Jesus because that's the only part of God that's visible, is the flesh that he made to dwell in right there. Okay, so I don't want to go too long here, but there you have it. The Logos is the breath of God. It's the speech of God, speaking out his intentions, which he did in Genesis 1. He said, let there be light, and there was light. And then God himself, according to 1 Timothy 3:16, became flesh. 1 Timothy 3:16. Colossians 1:15 says that Jesus is the image of the invisible God. Philippians 2:7 says that though he was in the form of God, which is spirit, he humbled himself and took on the form and the likeness of a man. Amen.